Season 3 has truly been incredible as we've explored places like Snowbird Resort, Jackson Hole, Sun Valley, and much more. The very first weekend of February finds us taking a 7-hour haul to Aspen, Colorado to finally hike the iconic Highland Bowl.
Another episode of season 3 of the vlog from Grand Junction, basically southeast of Salt Lake City and Park City and all that sort of stuff. I drove as far as I could last night after work, but man, I was falling asleep. I wasn't really doing pretty well, so I had to stop here. I made it about 4 hours into the drive, so I have 2 hours left to get to Aspen, and I slept at a awesome Love's truck stop, which a big fan of the truck stops. Big fan of the truck stops. Slept great, not super cold. Got some coffee, and now I have 2 hours to get to Aspen.
After 2 hours, we've made it out here to Aspen. I'm super stoked to be here. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful weekend. If we're not going to have any snow, might as well be just a bluebird day, and that's exactly what we have. So I'm out here at the Two Creeks lot, I believe it's called. Basically, there's a free lot outside of Aspen that the buses run all day long, bringing you to the various mountains here in Aspen. I have very little Aspen knowledge, but basically there is 4 mountains that kind of encompasses what Aspen is. And most people are probably familiar with the X Games and things like that. That's at the Buttermilk Mountain, but there's also Aspen Highlands, Snowmass, and also I think just Aspen maybe, kind of like the main one. But upon further investigation, parking is pretty limited at these places. Like typically you can park at the resorts. Here it's definitely a lot more tricky. There's just not a lot of space. You have to pay. So that's kind of why we're at this main lot that will then essentially we can go anywhere from here. So I'm super stoked for that because the bus is actually a good way to sort of see where you are and things like that, not have to worry about somewhere to park. So super stoked to be here. Gotta clean up the bed. You guys gave me some great recommendations for breakfast ideas to try, so I'm trying something new. It's similar, but it's new. Look at this thing. I need to like give you guys like a 360 on this. There's a lot going on here, so I gotta unpack it. An egg sandwich with real bacon. I don't really eat real bacon because I just try to steer away from it, but I figured if I'm gonna make a sandwich, I gotta make it the right way. But I also cooked the eggs with the hash browns. So someone recommended I put the hash browns and then the eggs all together. So the eggs have hash browns in them, real bacon, sourdough bread, nearly toasted to perfection, which I simply just got lucky on, cooked in the grease of the bacon. I mean, there's so much going on here. This might be the best thing I've ever made in the van. Just like, it looks delicious. I don't know if I should cut it or what I should do, but man, let's go. Totally different backpack today. I've been using the GoPro backpack for most of the season, but I'm going back to the low pro pack that I used almost all last season because I'm planning on doing the hike of Highlands Bowl, and it seemed pretty long of a hike. So this bag allows me to put my skis on the side, but the downside is that it is a lot bigger, pretty intrusive. So that's why I stopped using it, but I think it'll be good for a day like today. Now I gotta figure out what bus to take. I'm not really a good bus taker. Aspen Highlands, where is that one? Glenwood? I think I missed the first Highlands bus, so then I got picked up by another bus that took me to another stop, and so I'm on the corner waiting for another bus. I'm a little confused, but I'm just following what people are saying. People have been pretty friendly, so I'm waiting for another bus. Jesus, this shit's steep. People said that Highlands was steep, but man, I didn't know it was gonna be this steep. This is legit. This is some steep terrain. I don't know what chair I'm on, but I think I took like the steeplechase run or something. And man, I was surprised just how the pitch of this thing, it was crazy. It also doesn't make it easier that there's a bunch of moguls. It's very like crunchy, kind of like you could tell it's getting a lot of sun, so the conditions were very difficult to ski something that steep. So I'm gonna try to find a bit more shade. The lifty said that they stopped letting people up to the hike at 2:30. So I'm gotta try to plan around that. Might do just a few more warm-up runs here. And then I think just gonna cut right to it and get up on the hike. But beautiful mountain too. On the other side of this, like the views, it's absolutely gorgeous. Actually, squad, I'm gonna scratch doing another run and just start hiking because it's already 12 and I want to try to do this hike twice, but I want to show you guys kind of what we're working with for scale before we get up on it. So basically this entire ridge line is the hike, and if you zoom in all the way up top, you can kind of see that peak right there, and that is the top of the hike. Thinking if we start now, we could potentially do 2 of these. A lot of you guys asked me to do this, recommended it, so we're not gonna come here and not do it, but I do think it's gonna take longer than I expected at least, but it's a good thing I brought the backpack. But these views up here are just unreal. So we're gonna throw the skis on the pack and start moving. Dude, up here we made it up to hidden Highland Peak. I was thinking Snowbird, up 12,392 feet above sea level. So thank you to everyone who recommended me to come up here, because this is just absolutely beautiful. We made it up to the prayer flags up here, and it's quite literally a party. I think someone even had like a birthday party up here. It looks like they brought some drinks. And it's just all around high stoke up here, which is pretty sweet. So there's some bighorn sheep just down along the ridge, which was pretty cool. But just all in all, it's absolutely beautiful up here, and man, it feels good to just get the legs moving. I think this is why it's important that we stay in shape, that we work out, things like that, because when you find yourself in situations like this, it only helps you. You know what I mean? So I think at this point, the only thing we got to do is go down. I think I'm gonna try to go right from the top while we're up here to make it worthwhile, and hopefully we can make it up again by 2:30. So just absolutely beautiful, and stoked we did this. It's always smart to just take a peek. Look at these rocks all here. Maybe we can rip this gully. Oh, it's nice. Super chalky. Be careful. Oh man, this is good. This is delicious. Let's go. Gonna get a little bit messier. Just scope a bit. Looks like some more chalk in here. Oh, look at this. Oh, fast chalk. Beautiful. Open it up. There we go. Man. Looks like right down that face. It's gorgeous. Here we go. We're starting ascent number 2. Second go around was definitely not any easier. I think it actually, those last like 2 pitches got pretty tough, but it's way more chill up here. There's really no one up here compared to what it was first time. I thought that was just normal, but it was probably just peak time of coming up here, so it's a lot more mellow. And I actually got to the other side of the top here where I think those are the maroon bells, like right behind me somewhere, which I've been here in the summer once, but I've never seen them in the winter like this. So it's getting to the point where I'm just getting freezing, because now I have so much sweat in my body, and it's windy up here, and it's just everything's starting to get colder. So I want to try to work my way down, but at the same time it's like, I don't know, the next time I'll be at the top of this this peak probably not till next year, so I'm kind of soaking it all in. I know there's not a lot of skiing in this episode, but each one of these hikes is taking a good hour just to get up. Very beautiful area of the country for sure. I recorded that final hike. Took 39 minutes, 1.25 miles, average pace of 31 calories, average heart rate 166 with a range of 137 to 178, 800 feet of elevation gain. Minimum elevation was 11.5 and maximum was 12,379. That means between both the hikes, we went nearly 2.5 miles at 12,000 feet of elevation, which is pretty crazy, and I'm absolutely just destroyed from that. Like, I know there wasn't a lot of skiing in this video. There really wasn't. Like, we did that one run, and then we just basically did the hike. So take it for what it is, but the hike was basically the highlight of that whole mountain, so I'm stoked we did it twice. I realized I didn't really have the energy to go out and do anything, to be honest, so I just found a spot for the night and I'm making some dinner. And my plan is to just eat a nice big meal and just get in bed because I really am beat from those hikes today. So the same place that I parked in this morning and got the bus is where I'm at right now. Basically in the back of it, there was a bunch of vans and RV, like, just seemed like a lot of people were staying here, and the sign actually says 24-hour total stay time, so I don't really foresee this being an issue, and it actually should be a pretty nice spot to sleep just outside of Aspen. So for dinner tonight, I cooked up some asparagus with some bacon bits, and then I'm also making some ground turkey here, and then some rice. So just a simple recovery meal, some carbs, some protein, and a little bit of vegetables. I do think that was probably one of the most physically demanding days I've had on the mountain this year, just simply because of the hiking distance at that elevation. Carrying that weight on my shoulders, I'm not really used to this year as much, stopping and filming, all that sort of stuff, so this is well needed. Yogurts tonight, squad. I'm trying a new one. This is called Peanut Butter Dream. I also have the salted caramel crunch, which is quickly becoming one of my favorites. So lastly, before I sign off, we have the official Stoke Squad meetup planned for April 2nd and April 3rd at Park City Mountain Resort and Solitude Mountain. to cater to both Epic and Icon Pass holders. If you are planning on coming and are serious about coming, let me know. Either send me an email, an Instagram message, leave a comment, doesn't really matter, so I can try to gauge a rough head count of the people we're gonna have, so I can prepare things like food, coffee, like whatever else. It would just be helpful if I knew kind of roughly who was planning on coming. So thank you guys for watching another episode of season 3. I'll see all of you guys hopefully on the live stream on Wednesday, and then in the next video on Friday. So take it easy, fam. Peace out.